Okay, so we're going to do another example, but I still have the course program up. I just want to drive something home here. In the first two videos that I've done so far, we've created an object. That moment when we create an object, what I like to refer to as the car rolling off the assembly line, we've been creating first an empty object. This is empty. It's a meaningless core. It's like an empty shell of a course object. And then I turn around and I populate it with meaningful data using this dot operator or this attribute reference operator. That's really not the way to do it. So in this video, I'm going to show you a better way to create an object where you're creating the object and it's already populated at the time you create it in memory. There's not this empty first and then fill it up second. It's not this two-step process. It's more of a seamless one-step process. So let me paste that program in here. Okay, this is a pizza example. So let's pretend we've been hired to write a program for a pizza place or food truck or something, and we have a class to represent a pizza. Uh-oh, that wasn't it. Hang on, I still have the course class in there. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I have a pizza class. Okay, once again, just a plan. We don't have a pizza object until I create one down below. But at this moment, I'm just kind of laying out the specs or the specifications for what a pizza object will look like if I decide to create one in memory. Okay, so I have the attributes here. I have the pizza name. So let's say this place sells all kinds of different types of pizza. You have a vegan pizza, you have a Hawaiian pizza, meat lovers pizza, whatever. And then maybe a description to display to the customer. The diameter, pizzas are sold in diameter, right? They're sold by diameter, 18-inch, 10-inch, 8-inch personal pan pizza, whatever. And the number of slices that pizza could possibly yield, and then the price of that pizza. Okay, so this here... So, you know what, let me save the best for last. This is called a constructor, and that's what I'm going to talk about. That's going to be the focus of this video. But, you know, in the previous two examples, I said that, you know, your object or your class can have attributes and also capabilities. Let's take a look at the pizza class capabilities that I've added. So we have print pizza facts. So we have a way for the pizza object to print its own information, its own content, all right? That was similar to the course example that we had in the previous two videos. Okay, so some sort of function to print the contents of the object. And then I have this one. I have a math-related one. I did import math up at the top. I don't know if you noticed that because I'm using some of the goodies in that module. But anyway, we have the function to calculate the number of slices. So this will calculate the number of slices that a pizza of that particular diameter is capable of yielding, okay? And then I have, another function here, get price per slice. So I said this could be for a restaurant or a food truck where they're selling slices. So you can get, the price itself is for like the full pizza, but then I have get price per slice function that'll calculate the price of a single slice if we're going to sell it at the food counter. Okay, so let's talk about this very important construct here. This is called a constructor. A constructor. And then this is a special class function that is used to initialize an object with meaningful data at the time it's created in memory. Okay, so there's not going to be this empty first, and then I'm going to turn around and use the dot operator to populate with meaningful data. It's going to happen in one fell swoop thanks to this constructor. Okay, let's look at the constructor. It's very specific in its design. It's a function. It's a special function, but still just a function. We use the keyword def. Indentation matters. It is parameterized. We'll talk about the parameters in just a moment. But this is non-negotiable. This is how I can spot a constructor a mile away in Python. It is 2 underscores, the word init as in initialize an object with meaningful data, and then we have 2 trailing underscores as well. So 2 leading underscores, init, 2 trailing underscores. That is a constructor in Python. So this is a parameterized constructor. Okay, and what's going to happen? So and you know what? Honestly, I don't know if I did this in the. I know I didn't mention this in the previous video. Whenever you have a class function, be it the constructor or just kind of these run-of-the-mill functions, you always have the first parameter as self. Self refers to the object at hand, okay? Because when these functions are called, when they're executing, they're always executing in the name of a specific object, okay? And so self refers to that object that is calling the constructor at that moment and at any given moment. I'll circle back to that when we get down below to the main program here. But so I have a name parameter, a description parameter, a diameter parameter, and a p parameter for price. Okay. When I create an object, I'm going to pass meaningful data into these parameters. And then I'm going to turn around and use those parameter values to populate the attributes, the class attributes. Okay? Look at this, self.pizzaname, self.description, self.diameter. So these are the attributes, right? Pizza name, description, diameter, num slices. So these are the attributes, and then whatever is passed into the parameters, those values are going to be dumped one at a time into the attributes, the data attributes. Okay. Now in this case, I didn't pass in a parameter for the num slices because I added functionality to calculate the number of slices. So I got a little fancy here, but no, we don't have to worry about that. But just the notion of the values coming into the parameters and then being used to populate the attributes with meaningful data. So let's go down to the main program here. Okay, so this is the end of the class. You see the indentation, so that's where the class cuts off. Let me just put a line here. So now we're in like kind of the main program. And I'm going to create my first pizza object. I'm going to call it P1. Okay, this is how I'm creating the object using my constructor. Do you remember in the previous video when I created a course object? It was something like C1 equals course. Okay, do you remember that? And that was like an empty course object, and then I had to turn around and use the dot operator to put meaningful data in it. That's not the case anymore. I've got a constructor to do that heavy lifting. So all I have to do is put in a call to that constructor and pass these data into those parameter values. So for example, vegan supreme, what's going to happen? Okay, it's another thing I want you to note here. P1 is the name of the object. Okay, we're putting in a call to the pizza constructor. We're passing vegan supreme, among other things, but let's just focus on vegan supreme. Okay, that vegan supreme is going to land in this parameter name. Okay, self refers to P1, the pizza object that is executing its constructor right now. Okay, so vegan supreme comes in, lands in name, and then vegan supreme, which is in name, is dumped into that attribute of P1, that pizza name attribute of P1. So all of the rest of the attributes are going to have the same treatment. Okay, we're going to pass values into these parameters, and then one by one they are copied into the actual class attributes. Okay, so yeah, so we have the name, the description, we have the diameter and the price. Okay, and then printing out the pizza facts. Okay, and then I have another object. I can create as many as I want, as many as the restaurant needs, okay, to represent the pizzas that they're selling. So I have P2, which is a Hawaiian barbecue. Same thing. So let's focus on this Hawaiian barbecue. That's going to come up to the constructor. Self refers to P2 now, where this constructor is executing in the name of P2. Okay, Hawaiian barbecue comes through the door, it lands in the name parameter, and from there it is copied into the pizza name of P2. And once again, that happens for all of these, and you have these fully populated pizza objects. Okay, we were able to accomplish this in just one line of code. None of this empty first, populate later. It's all done in one shot because of the constructor.